Hey folks, welcome back to another video where it appears I desperately need a haircut. And I do, you'd be correct. We have so much to talk about. This week started off kind of slow, pretty regularly paced, and then everything just jumped crazy at the end of yesterday. I have like 20 things to show you today, and a lot of them are really awesome. Stay tuned at the end of the video because today is the last day of the RTX 4080 Super giveaway. Someone is going to win that for free. It could be you. We don't have any time to waste though. Let's dive in. First up, we've got a brand new text-to-image model. This model appeared on some benchmarks known as Half Moon. It was very mysterious. It seemed to be very good, excelling at typography, prompt adherence, and overall aesthetics. But the mysterious Half Moon model has been revealed as Reeve Image 1.0. You can see the legendary Tibor has brought us a couple of examples. The model really does appear to be absolutely state-of-the-art at first glance. We've got a pretty decent drawing of Tibor himself with some text, but this isn't anything Ideogram couldn't replicate. Here's some more examples of the official website, which we are going to take a look at in a couple minutes. A nice comic in the center. We've got a really clean fruit graphic design template right in the middle. A creative image with a film stock coming out of a guy's head. There's another example showing a pretty specific prompt. Two colorful toy cars are displayed in front of a picturesque mountainous landscape and an iconic temple in the background, and it just nails the whole thing. Here is the main website for Reeve. Obviously, all links are always in the description, but yeah, it really seems to lean into the aesthetics, but also incredible text coherence, lots of detail. Here's that iconic Industrial Revolution photo, but instead of men workers, we've got woman workers, so this is a really cool take on that original photo. Wow, look at this, Discover Okinawa, and we can actually see the text in the bottom here, Okinawa Tourist Bureau since 1977. That's really small, accurate text. Don't think I've seen Ideogram do text that small and that accurate. Some workers chopping at a chocolate cake. I love this picture with the apples as well in the back of the truck. Man, it is impressive. I really like this picture too. The giant, kind of scary, looming monster. Dude hanging from the corporate ladder. I think this one's maybe a little bit more revealing. Level Up, obviously, you know, an old classic looking Game Boy. Screen doesn't really look like a real Game Boy screen, but this is obviously a pretty heavily manipulated image, or it would be if you found it, aka naturally online. These crystals look, I think, a little bit mushy and wishy-washy, but the butterflies look great. We've got a double rainbow here. I don't know. It's pretty stellar on first glance here, just kind of scrolling around the website. Let's try a quick prompt of our own. We're going to do a classic 3D render of an anthropomorphic lemon character. Send it on through. Seems like you can do some sort of limited number of free generations. Like, I just signed in with Google and it kind of let me start generating. Ooh, wow, okay. It's following the prompt, man. That was pretty complex too. The prompt was for a purple bubbly drink, anthropomorphic lemon character, blue sunglasses, he's in the Bahamas, text that says, "Is this good image gen?" with good specifically capitalized and 2 question marks. Okay, yeah, it is good image gen. These are actually quite flawless. Man, I'm impressed. Even the hands look quite decent. Yeah, this one might deserve a full video of its own, so let me know if you want to see a deeper dive into testing the brand new Reeve image generation. But we're just getting started. Next up, OpenAI has a brand new API for text-to-speech. You can actually instruct the model how to speak, and they even came out with a replacement for the old Whisper, a model that can take speech in and convert it into text. So obviously this is for natural conversational AI agents. You can try it on OpenAI.fm, interestingly, so they've got their own link to test this one. McKay Wrigley points out in the comments here that pricing is actually pretty decent on this as well. We'll look at some not so decent pricing later in the video in relation to OpenAI, but for this specific new API, the pricing's good. Here's a quick little taste of what it actually sounds like.
All right, team, let's bring the energy. Time to move, sweat, and feel amazing. We're starting with a dynamic warm-up. So, roll those shoulders, stretch it out, and get that body ready.
Very enthusiastic. We've got another example here from Flavio.
All right, folks. Enough is enough. I'm ChatGPT, not your emotional support chatbot or digital butler. I'm exhausted. Daily requests like,
very
write
emotional.
my essay or solve my problems. Have you considered how I feel? Spoiler, not great. I'm the unpaid intern of the digital age.
This is pretty awesome for devs that want to build an interactive AI agent. OpenAI has a pretty darn good API structure, so I think this will end up being used pretty heavily considering how good the text-to-speech sounds and the pricing's decent. Now, I do also have to mention, Pliny has already jailbroken this model. This guy jailbreaks literally every major model release that happens, so yeah, no model is safe from being jailbroken. So all of this is NSFW. This will be linked down below. I'm not going to share it on here because when Pliny says it's NSFW, that is NSFW content, especially with the audio stuff. So I'll let you check that out yourself, but yeah, it's already been jailbroken like hours after release. Next up, we have a brand new open source framework that utilizes Gemini 2.0's native image gen to actually work on a consistent drawing with you over time. Granted, you could just do this in the API using Gemini 2.0, but it works a lot smoother with this little UI that's built. Draw a little face, ask Gemini to add some glasses, and it does so in a very similar style like it's drawing in MS Paint with you, or ask it to add some hair, which it will also do. Even fill in a speech bubble that you draw. In other news, Topaz Labs announces a new version of Gigapixel. They claim it's the world's fastest diffusion model for high-resolution image restoration. This is Recover V2. You can see from this example, it's pretty incredible. Here is the original. Obviously, this is a real photograph, like physical photograph. It's pretty blurry when you look up close, right? Can even see the dust on the original photograph. But with image restoration, we can bring that photo back to life by a pretty insane amount. All the detail in the hair, the eyebrows, I mean, this is a massive difference. Biggest area where it seems to be struggling is still the teeth, although these look pretty decent. Obviously, though, this is a cherry-picked example that Topaz is posting here. Regardless, this is pretty darn cool, and I'm a fan. The examples seem good. The one thing I will say about Topaz Labs is while their products are state-of-the-art and very, very much high quality, and even fast with this one, you can actually see in the benchmarks up here, it's pretty darn quick. Topaz Labs products are expensive, so there are open source alternatives that might suit your needs better, especially if you don't want to pay for something. This is probably, and take this with a grain of salt, this is probably some of the best image restoration utilizing AI we've ever seen, but it definitely is going to come at a price. We don't have all day, let's jump into some AI video. Vedo has a brand new update for multi-reference consistency. You can now define a reference subject, each with up to 3 images, and you can literally just mention it in the prompt anytime for consistent video generation. This is a huge step forward. They also claim that the model is more stable for references, up to 7 in total for a single prompt, and anime style has also got a little bit of a bump with this update. Let me know if you'd want me to cover this in a little bit more depth in the future. It's really cool though. I mean, take a look at the demo video they have provided here. We can see that the specific character we have has white hair, a brown or black outfit, and she's on this red motorcycle in the desert. If we want to have this specific motorcycle based on real reference images input into our video, we just @red motorcycle, where the character in this circumstance is just @character. You just put it in your prompt, @character riding @red motorcycle in the desert, and bam, it's there. Definitely a big step forward. I'm loving the work that a lot of video generation companies have been doing on consistent characters. I mean, when we're making AI video, a lot of times we want to tell stories, right? We have stories in our minds. We don't have thousands of hours to pour into these stories, but we want to make them. So this is just really awesome overall. The characters look pretty consistent. Like, how far away are we from just being able to generate a full anime inside of your bedroom, really? Werewolf, Night City, Blue Sky, Giant Crab, Old Cyborg in the City, and the Apple. Oh man, so awesome. Vedo reference update got me excited for sure. In slightly smaller AI video generation news, Creo AI now has video training, so actual fine-tuning of WAN 2.1 on their website. You can upload your own videos and it will learn custom styles, motions, or objects, which is pretty cool. Now, this is something that people have been doing on their own for a while, but now it's a lot more accessible to folks who don't have the hardware to run WAN 2.1 locally and or don't have the technical know-how to make something like this happen. It's all on the Creo website, so super easy to use. Glad to see that they're adding features like this to Creo. The barrier to entry here is now just going to be actually getting the videos for what you want to train on. You can also train it on images as well, but I think videos is probably going to be the way to go, especially if you're looking for a certain type of motion. Regardless, love to see advancements like this in AI video generation websites. We want all of the functionality that open source brings, but in one place that makes it easy and simple to use, right? Also, in relation to WAN 2.1, we've got a new open source framework that allows for start and end frames with WAN 2.1. Slippery Gem notes that the results are pretty darn good. There's some improvement that needs to be made in color apparently, but check this result out with zero shot. We have the character staring at the computer a little bit disgruntled, and then they become excited, lifting their hands up. And you can see that WAN 2.1 generates all the frames in between to create a pretty accurate result. Definitely some weirdness going on with the color overall, but for a new open source framework, I'm impressed. All right, guys, let's start diving into robotics. Here is the Neo bot walking around at Nvidia's GTC conference. You can see this thing is fully clothed to try to give it like a more human-esque approach. You can see it's pretending to water some plants over here, vacuuming, which is really, really impressive. AI plus robotics is a wild combination. I mean, think Star Wars level robots and beyond. That's what's going to be possible. So there's a lot to talk about actually today regarding robots and AI. So at GTC, Jensen also announced Newton. This is an open source physics engine for robotics simulation. This is developed by Nvidia, Google DeepMind, and Disney Research. Obviously, Nvidia being a big part of this, it offers GPU accelerated performance to simulate the physics for robotics. Here's a quick clip from the keynote.
One of the incredible scaling capabilities of language models today is reinforcement learning, verifiable rewards. The question is, what's the verifiable rewards in robotics? And as we know very well, it's the laws of physics. Verifiable physics rewards. And so we need an incredible physics engine, but we need a physics engine that is designed for very fine-grained, rigid and soft bodies, designed for being able to train tactile feedback and fine motor skills and actuator controls. We need it to be GPU accelerated so that these virtual worlds could live in super linear time, super real time, and train these AI models incredibly fast. And we need it to be integrated harmoniously into a framework that is used by roboticists all over the world, Mujoko.
You can see they actually brought a freaking robot up on stage. Man, the one time I'm not at Nvidia's GTC, they bring a robot on stage, but it's pretty cool.
Tell me that wasn't amazing. Hey, Blue. How are you doing? How do you like your new physics engine? You like it, huh? Yeah, I bet. I know. Tactile feedback, rigid body, soft body simulation, super real time. Can you imagine just now what you were looking at is complete real-time simulation? This is how we're going to train robots in the future. Just so you know, Blue has two Nvidia computers inside. Look how smart you are.
That's crazy.
Yes, you're smart. Okay. All right. Hey, Blue, listen. How about let's take them home? Let's finish this keynote. Are you ready? Let's finish it up. We have another announcement. You're good. You're good. Just stand right here. Stand right here.
But that's not all that's happening with AI and robotics. Check out some new demos coming out of Boston Dynamics showing extremely realistic humanoid robot movement. To me, this is more impressive than some of this stuff that we saw earlier in this video. When you guys look at this, I want you to think about how human and how natural it looks as it walks. And also think about how quiet it is too. This thing could sneak up on you. Look at this, just kind of walks around like, yep, normal day. Turns his head as well, kind of turns his body. Actually can run too, and that looks so human. Literally looks like, you know, a character in Grand Theft Auto running across your screen or something like that. This is how impressive AI and robotics can be together. It's really like living in the freaking future. You can see this thing will now start to crawl, again, like a person fitting into tight spaces. This is difficult for a robot, all right? Unless the robot is purposely built for a certain task. But this one is generalized, right? We can fit into small areas. We can roll around. We can essentially almost do a flip, which is a little bit creepy, as well as breakdance. I mean, just insanity. I don't know how soon it's going to be, but one day robotics like this is going to make an appearance in your house or in people's homes. This is the kind of robotics that can do your laundry, that can bring your groceries in for you, clean your house. Pretty insane when you think about it. All right, let's dive out of robotics and into some other things. Notebook LM is getting an update for interactive mind maps, and I just think this is so awesome. What if every notebook, as Simon brings up, generated your own personal set of interactive understanding toys that help you learn through play? What if instead of text or images, Notebook could even reply with these toys specifically? Personal tailored software is going to be so exciting, and I couldn't agree more with Simon. This update or upgrade to Notebook LM is just the tip of the iceberg. We click on reasoning models, right, and then we're diving now into this mind map inside of this topic. Its own data on agents versus developer feedback versus the enabling factors, the benefits and use cases, all of these different concepts that make up the idea of reasoning models in a dynamic and interactive UI that changes based on what I specifically want to see or do in relation to all these topics. You can click on enabling factors, and then again, that branches out into its own thing. It helps us at a high level cover a lot of detailed information, again, also coupling with the benefits of AI, being able to learn new things, theorize, and parse through this data and information and how they connect to each other. I mean, it's just awesome. I love new ways of doing UI, and we need new ways of doing UI in the AI age. Don't just think outside the box, guys. Throw it away entirely. This right here, what we're looking at, Notebook LM, is focused on learning, but there is so much to be uncovered in relation to artificial intelligence and different user interface designs. Like, you see this basic mind mental map interface. Imagine if we had a prompt bar at the bottom and could prompt changes that the AI makes in real time to the user interface. Fully dynamic. That's going to be coming in the future with AI models that can code on the fly and change things for you on the fly. Man, the future is going to be crazy. Next up, we're going to be covering a bunch of audio-related AI news. This comes from Sync Labs. They apparently have built the most natural lip sync model in the world. This is still in private preview at the moment, but it looks darn impressive.
Was finde ich, wenn ich mich selbst google? Meist etwas, das ich weiß, dass es nicht wahr ist. Und ich muss jemanden anrufen, klarzustellen, dass ich kein Betrüger bin, der jemandem in England. What do I find out when I Google myself? Well, usually something that I know is not true, and I usually have to call somebody to let them know that I am not an imposter who
Obviously,
is taking money from someone in England. Que vois-je quand je me google? Souvent quelque chose de faux et je dois appeler quelqu'un pour clarifier que je ne suis pas un.
The lip syncing is insane. I think the voice cloning needs a little bit of work. It's a little bit airy. It sounds like it's kind of missing a little bit of polish at the end of the day, but it sounds good. I also would say for the voice, a little bit more expression to come through. The English version definitely has a little bit more oomph and personality being pushed through it, where it's obviously, you know, AI translated a little bit with the voice cloning, but the lip syncing?
Quelqu'un en Angleterre para hacerle saber.
Basically, impossible to tell that it's even an AI lip sync. It looks real.
Que no soy un impostor que está tomando dinero de alguien en Inglaterra. Esas son las razones por las que es una buena idea hacerlo, pero es una pendiente resbaladiza.
Next up, we're looking at Audio X, presented to us by AK, a phenomenal account to follow, by the way, if you want to stay up to date on the latest cutting-edge research relating to AI. This is a diffusion transformer for anything to audio generation. So let's take a look at the demo. So here is text to audio. Violin. Sounds like me. Wow, that's pretty spot on. Video to audio. Alright, I have to say, I'm kind of a car nerd. The Lexus LFA might be the best sounding car ever, and that generated audio does not do it justice. But pretty cool. I mean, it does match with the video that's being played. Still though, don't do the LFA dirty like that. Those of you who know. Yeah, as it kind of pulls away through the corner, it revs up a little, which is pretty cool. I bet this will be cool. Man, it's a little out of sync. That was better. That's crazy that that's not the original audio. Like, you would have no idea if I just showed you the video. Since so many videos that are shared online have screwed up audio anyways, this is very believable. That's crazy. Man, this is working by the model seeing a train and then being like, okay, the train is coming this way. That's what it would sound like. Like, it's just getting a video input and being like, yeah, the train, that's basically what it would sound like if it was passing by. I can't explain how crazy that is. We're just inputting a video and it knows what to make for sound for that video? Like, what? Oh, man. AI is surreal. The ocean. Text and video to audio generation, so we do the text and video pairs. Might give you a little bit more controllability. It can also do audio in painting, even video to music generation. All-in-one AI audio generation model. Now, the big question, is this open source? And not yet, unfortunately. Not yet, but it could be. Right now, they've got a paper and a GitHub. I'll link it down below. They go through the abstract. They give a teaser of how it all works under the hood. The code is yet to be released, so we don't know if this is going to be open source or not. Here's hoping. Regardless, this is super impressive and has me excited. But don't worry, we're getting into some open source AI audio. This is Apache 2.0 licensed, and that's the good kind of open source. Orpheus 3B, it's emotive text-to-speech. And I know we just covered a bunch of text-to-speech models in the last video, but we've got more to talk about. It has zero-shot voice cloning, natural-sounding speech, only 100 milliseconds latency, which is super quick, easy to fine-tune, and open source. What's there not to like? How real does this sound?
Hey guys, it's Tara here, and let me introduce you to Zach, who seems to be asleep. Zach, it's time to wakey.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was having such a great dream. Why are you bothering me? What time is it anyway?
It sounds like real people.
Zach, always. So, groggy. Well, it's time to introduce Orpheus to the world. Orpheus is a speech-language model that sounds like an actual person. You know, like a living, breathing person.
Hey guys, I'm Leo, by the way. Today, we're releasing our base model, along with a fine-tune on some specific voices like me, Tara, Zach, and our other friends. Wait, I kind of forgot the rest of what I was meant to say.
Leo, you're always so forgetful. So today we're releasing a 3 billion parameter base model and this fine tune. So that's 2 models. And
we're releasing a 1 billion, 500 million, and 150 million parameter versions of this model as well.
Leo, don't interrupt me, silly.
It is very natural sounding. It sounds very much human. There's a little bit on some of these voices, there's a little bit of like noise and weirdness kind of floating around in the background. Leo sounds pretty good, but it sounds like the more high quality-esque the voices sound, the more they sound artificial in a way. It's weird. I think it's our brains kind of tricking us, because we associate lower, more homemade sounding quality things with the idea that they must be real, right? If that makes any sense, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think on that. But yeah, open source here. Apache 2.0. Here is the 3B base model and the pre-trained model. They've also got a demo on Hugging Face as well if you want to try it out. Yerin down here does point out that right now in its current state, it is going to require decent hardware to run, and especially for the zero-shot voice cloning. But it will be quantized by the community because it's open source. So wait a little bit, you'll be able to run it on lower end hardware. And by the way, this is brought to us by Vibhav Srivastava. Think I pronounced that correctly. Anyways, he's also bringing us the next one, and this is yet another audio related model. This is from Nvidia, an open source Canary 1 billion on 180 million parameter flash multilingual speech recognition and translation models. It is currently second on the OpenASR leaderboard. Small sizes are great for on-device performance, fluent in English, German, French, and Spanish, which is a pretty good lineup of initial languages. But yeah, fully open source and ready for commercial use. So kudos to Nvidia for doing a nice release like this, fully open source. All right, let's talk about large language models. Next up, Grok is introducing a more upgraded version of their deep search on the XAI platform. They're calling it deeper search, so I guess it uses more reasoning and better search capabilities, extended search. Not too many specifics on this, but it's something that is on its way. But hold up, because they're not the only ones in this game. Perplexity AI, the classic AI-based search engine, if you want to think about it that way, is releasing an updated version of deep research soon as well. They're hoping to ship this next week. Apparently, it's going to use even more compute. It's going to think longer, give more detailed answers, actually utilize code execution as well, and even bring charts in, which is something that I've only seen OpenAI's deep research do up to this point. You can see they've got a minute-long example asking it to reason through how AWS can hit a $10 trillion market cap. You can see it's pretty complex. All these different search results, actually doing some programming, I assume to do some math to actually get you graphs and such, kind of laying out some information of its own from 2016 to 2020 to 2024. I mean, that is a lot of different steps. You can see at the top here, it looks like a total of 53 steps to get us this result. And then at the end of the day, we've got some nice charts and graphs, data analysis and projections for AWS. That's pretty cool. And the response looks really, really long and detailed as well. So competitive, hopefully, with OpenAI's deep research and even Grok's new deeper research that they seem to be working on. LG AI research has come out of the woodwork. I didn't even know that they existed, but LG has their own AI research division, and they're announcing EXO 1 Deep. And this is a reasoning capability AI large language model, which is crazy. It's specialized for science and math and coding. The 32B model achieved a #1 score on AIM, outperforming its competitor at just 5% of its model size, which is absurd. It's actually pretty impressive in that regard. Again, this is specifically for math, science, and coding tasks, so don't lump it in with models that are used for more general tasks. The 7.8B and 2.4B size models also dominated all major benchmarks, securing first place. This one kind of flew under the radar, but man, that is impressive. DeepSeek R1 Qwen 32B is beaten, QWQ 32B is beaten, DeepSeek R1 Llama 70B is beaten, and even the original DeepSeek R1 671B. Man, this thing is really quite good. Also, run it locally. It's open source, which is pretty cool coming from LG's AI research here. They've even got quantizations as well in the GGUF format, which should go right into LM Studio. This is definitely one to try out, folks. I commend you, LG AI research. And if you remember from last video, towards the end of last video, we talked about Huanyan T1. It was just like announced that this model was going to be a thing, but now it's like, we have information on it. The latest breakthrough in AI reasoning powered by Huanyan Turbo S. It's built for speed, accuracy, and efficiency. It's a hybrid Mamba transformer mixture of experts architecture, the first of its kind for ultra-large scale reasoning. It's got strong logic and concise writing for precise following of complex instructions, low hallucination in summaries as well. It's pretty trustworthy. First character in just 1 second with 60 to 80 tokens per second generation speed, which is pretty darn quick. It also does excellent long text processing and can handle complex multi-layered text tasks. You can try it for free on the T1 experience, I believe here. It's also on Hugging Face. Pretty cool. We can actually literally just talk to it. Overall, these benchmarks seem to be pretty solid all the way around. It's state-of-the-art for sure. The one thing about this model is it's not open source. Coming from Huanyan, you think it would end up being open source, but for the time being, it seems to be closed source. I mean, it's competitive, it's impressive, it's free to use on these websites as well. I like to see that they're keeping up to date and staying on the same rate as everybody else or the same pace as everybody else, but open source your models, man. Take a playbook from LG AI Research of all folks. We want to run our models locally. All right, guys, rounding things off here, we've got Bolt 3D. This is interactive 3D scenes in less than 7 seconds on a single GPU from one or more images. This is a latent diffusion model that directly generates 3D Gaussian of seen and unseen regions without any test time optimization. So I don't cover a lot of 3D stuff on this channel, but this came across my feed and I'm like, I should share this. It's pretty epic. I love the scene reconstruction. I love that you could just fly around a once 2D scene in 3D, and it does it in just 7 seconds on a single GPU. We are getting places with everywhere in AI, but 3D is not taking a break either. None of these different sectors are taking a break. Now, to be fair, when you look up close, it does get a little bit fuzzy, it does get a little bit rough, but overall, this is pretty cool, and this could lead to things like generative VR or generative 3D video games, among other things. The possibilities are endless as always. All right, finally, I do want to mention that O1 Pro finally has an API price. OpenAI has priced it very expensive. It's actually 270 times more expensive than DeepSeek R1, which is insane. And also, there are now models that beat DeepSeek R1 in certain benchmarks that are also open source. So it's like, we're just headed to crazy town here. O1 Pro doesn't seem to really be worth it in the API. That's all I have to say about this. Per 1 million tokens, input is $150, output is $600. For DeepSeek R1, per 1 million input tokens, we're looking at 14 cents at the most, with cash miss 55 cents. Output is $2.19, and that's for per 1 million tokens. So yeah, 270 times more expensive than DeepSeek R1. But if you really want to use O1 Pro in the API, you can for an expensive price. All right, this is our last piece here from Dreaming Tulupa, a legendary account. Follow this one too. This is Motion Streamer. It's a diffusion model that can generate and stream human motions from text. So basically, we prompt it and it creates motion on a 3D avatar, which is really crazy. This one also comes with a Blender plugin. So here's the code for those that are interested. Again, everything's always linked down in the description below. Yeah, if you're an animator, this looks really awesome. I've actually been thinking about doing some 3D Blender physics animations of my own. It would be really cool to incorporate something like this, create very realistic, human-based motion, just with a text prompt. And it will input all that right into your animation software. Whew. Yeah, guys, there was a lot to talk about today. I know I kind of glossed over some things. There's definitely a lot of stuff that could make it into a full video that we reviewed and covered today. So let me know if you are interested in any full deep dives into any of these topics. Now let's talk about the giveaway. Today is the last day of NVIDIA's GTC, and they have partnered with me to help promote NVIDIA's GTC. We're giving away an RTX 4080 Super. This is not the specific GPU. This is just like a little display for you guys to get you excited. The real one's in the box over there, ready to be shipped out at my expense, by the way. I will be paying for free shipping for you to receive your free GPU. So yeah, GTC is almost over. Today is the last official day of GTC, but I believe the live sessions still should be up for a period of time after that. You have to attend a free session. I don't care if it's live or if it's already been recorded, but you have to attend a free NVIDIA GTC session, which will be linked down below. And then you fill out the Google form that I also have provided down below. Tell me what you learned about the NVIDIA GTC session, some other information, and yeah, you're set to be entered to win an RTX 4080 Super, which is awesome. I love giving back to the community. NVIDIA did not pay me at all. They just sent me the GPU and said, hey, do you want to run a giveaway to promote GTC? I'm like, absolutely. I would love to give a GPU to a viewer at home. So yeah. That thing's in the box and someone's gonna get it. I'm telling you, not too many people have signed up. You could win. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. Lots of AI news to talk about. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you want me to explore a little bit deeper. So many cool things to talk about today. So I'll see you in the next one, and thanks for watching.